Hello, hello, hello. So, welcome to your first esoteric teachings here in the sanctuary. This is going to be your first challenge, and this is going to give you a strong foundation to the activation of the strong divine feminine energetics and boundaries that we're going to be going through on this journey together here in the sanctuary. So remember to make this journey your own. Take what works for you, and if something doesn't feel in alignment, just leave it, okay? There's going to be a lot of generalization, okay, in some of these teachings. So take what works for you and leave everything else. And the other thing I'm going to say is always remember that when we talk about the feminine energy here, we're not talking about the woman per se. We're talking more about the feminine counterpart of consciousness, the feminine aspect of consciousness. And, vice versa, if we're talking about the masculine energy, we're not talking about the masculine, the man or the male per se. We're talking about the masculine aspect of consciousness. So I just feel like I should just mention that because, we're going to be talking a lot about the feminine energy and the masculine energy. And it's also worth, saying that both a woman and a man will have both of these energies within them. It's just that naturally a woman is a natural embodiment of the divine feminine, while a man is more a representation of the divine masculine. But we both have both energies as part of our creativity. It's just that we tend to embody one more than the other. So I felt it's so important to say that when we were talking about the feminine and the masculine energy, it's not really about the man or the woman. It's more about the energies itself. So the other thing I'm going to say is that going forward, really, I invite you to go out of your comfort zone, especially when it comes to the challenges, to really just give it a go and make it fun. Because this is the only way we are going to expand into new possibilities. And, nothing is compulsory. Nothing here in the sanctuary is compulsory. It's an invitation, everything is an invitation. The challenges are invitations. Nothing is compulsory. The only thing I would stress on is that, to be open to activating this state of joy, this state of bliss, happiness, spirituality as a woman in your power, because we have an opportunity here to do it. So I just thought, let me just mention those, especially as this is your first official challenge. In this month's challenge, we're going to talk about the mysteries of the eternal feminine, activating the power and potential of the mysterious and fascinating aspects of the feminine. And one of the things that we're going to be doing in this esoteric teaching, this month teaching, but also as part of our path in the sanctuary, is using this art of transfiguration. So this is a perfect time for me to just mention what we mean when we mean this art of transfiguration, because this is going to be, I feel, a game changer. How we use transfiguration through some big energies here in the sanctuary will become a big changer for you, not just here, but in the external world. So when we talk about transfiguration, what are we talking about? We're talking about, an ability to change form or appearance. We're talking about, this same process where there's a change in physical form, in structure or in substance. And you can think about it like an example would be like a birthing process, or arching process, like the caterpillar to the butterfly phase. So I also like to think about it like a spiritual change. For me, it's more as a spiritual change, because we're evoking from within us a state that changes us physically, and then our external state. So for me, this art of transfiguration is actually a spiritual, it's a spiritual change, it's a spiritual evolution. Okay. And I believe that this is going to be a big changer. Yeah, this is one of our big tools here in the sanctuary, in going through this personal growth and development in a way that it feels like fun, and bigger things are easier to attain. So this art of transfiguration is what we're going to be doing here, but also going forward in the sanctuary. It's going to be one of your power tools. Yeah, your power method, the art of transfiguration. So now that I've said that, let's go into what we're going to be doing in this month's esoteric teaching. We're going to be using the same art of transfiguration and using it to expand into this divine feminine principles and characteristics. And there are 5 main things, that I want to pull out in these teachings to expand us into. So the first one is transfiguration into the creative force, transfiguration into the creative force energy of the divine feminine, transfiguring into the divine feminine as the path to source, as the great illusion and the mystic, transfiguring into the feminine, like the feminine in the presence of the masculine, how she is naturally. And then we're going to pull out some qualities of the eternal feminine that we really want to expand into. And then that's going to take us into this month's challenge. So that is the plan. And I'm going to try and make this like straight to the point. Okay. So let's go into the creative force, the feminine, the divine feminine as the creative force. This is, the feminine aspect of consciousness, or we can also say Mother Goddess, is that aspect that unites femininity with maternity by her manifestation as the fundamental force of nature. So I brought this up because this is actually a very powerful concept. The fact that this divine feminine energy that we are an embodiment of is so powerful that she unites femininity with maternity. This art of creativity, like, where she holds a kind of energy, nurtures that energy, yeah, holds it, nurtures it, and then bring it forth into manifestation. Like, how powerful is this? Because in this way of her ability to do that, she's seen as like as a mysterious energy, the mysterious force of nature, or the source, or the mysterious source of nature that brings about the whole entire universe. So some people will say, like, okay, if the divine feminine is actually this like source of everything, what was there before her? And I found a really good explanation, which I absolutely love, and which many people can relate to, even from different teachings. So it says, before her there was just light. Okay, there was just absolute consciousness and awareness, just light, absolute consciousness, awareness, what we can refer to as the masculine. Okay, the masculine. And then came the reflection of this light, yeah, a reflection of this light, which is really the divine feminine, the supreme feminine. And through this reflection came the creation. So we can already see that both of these energies needs to work in union, okay? But the creative feminine, divine feminine, she's so mysterious with how she manifests by her uniting this feminine aspect of herself and maternity aspect of herself. She brings about manifestation. And we are a perfect embodiment of this powerful force, this powerful creative force. So just start to feel into the power that you already are as this creative force. Now, let's move on to the second path, which is like she's the path to source. Yeah, the divine feminine as the path to source. This is the second characteristics I want to bring in for our transfiguration. And this can be better explained through the school of thought that refers to the divine feminine as, I think it's in Tantra that they refer to the divine feminine as a path. They actually say a path to source in ways that it's said that one cannot reach Shiva but through Shakti. So Shiva is like the divine masculine and Shakti is the divine feminine. So it is said that one cannot reach Shiva but through Shakti. And there's an analogy that is given, like think about like a bulb, yeah, like an electric bulb, and you see this bulb and it's radiating with this powerful energy, this powerful light in this bulb. You cannot just put your hand through this bulb and touch it. It's just not, you can't do that. Well, you can, but you electrocute yourself, basically. The way to interact with this bulb is by interacting with the radiance and the heat around that bulb, okay? And that heat and that radiance around that bulb is this divine feminine. How beautiful. So like you're sitting in a room and you have the bulb on and you're like, that's so beautiful and I need this light. You don't just go and touch that bulb. You feel like the expansion of that bulb that lights up that room. And that is the divine feminine. I love that. And also like in Christianity, there's that saying that nobody can reach God, the Father, but through the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is defined as God's power to create and manifest everything in the world. Again, what we're referring to as the creative feminine energy. So one cannot reach God, but through the Holy Spirit, through this divine feminine energy. And for me, I always say it's like the divine feminine is like the spirituality that we step into to really connect to something so much more deeper than us, so much more greater than us, so much more bigger than us, that thing that gives us meaning, that gives us that deeper essence to who we truly are. For me, I see this as that pure feminine, divine feminine energy. And through this energy, we reach, God, the source, the universe, whichever way you call it or whatever way feels aligned to you. But through this divine feminine energy, we can connect to source. Through our feminine spirituality, we connect to source. And I also feel like for me, this is where everything changed. Going down this path of like really connecting with my spiritual feminine, things in life took on a different meaning in how, I build my business, in how I relate to my child, the people around me, how I grow as a person, everything. It keeps me grounded and just brings like a deeper fulfillment to life. And, this is through this activation of this divine feminine state in us, which gives us our spirituality. So through, she's the spirituality that puts us in touch with our source. Beautiful. Oh my God, that's just amazing. And then the third essence I wanted to bring out in this esoteric teaching is the divine feminine as the great illusion and the psychic. And this is really powerful because it said that in her supreme form, this feminine energy is seen as the great illusion that represents the power who creates and the power who destroys. Often represented as the mysterious uterus from which everything emerges and everything dissolves. So if you look at, let's look at the element of water, which is like a very powerful feminine energy. The element of water has the power to nurture and to help something grow. You know, we need water, the plants need water, like it's just this creative energy that helps things grow. The same way it can help things grow, the same way it can destroy anything in its path, you know, just as easy. Or, you know, the same way you can wet and nurture a plant through water, the same way you can drop something into the water and it absolutely dissolves. And this is like the divine feminine essence in like its true essence. It has the power to nurture and help, you know, manifest, help things emerge the same way she can destroy or dissolve. Very, very powerful. And again, we are a perfect embodiment of this energy. So this is a text that I love and I wrote down years ago, so no reference, but I'm going to read it out loud to you. The endless feminine manifesting powers is actually the mysterious force that manifests and supports the entire universe. She's the one who gives birth from her gigantic womb, and brings the universe in its great totality. I mean, it's quite a long one. So she's a divine feminine, here known as Maya Shakti. So this is, you know, in Tantra, Maya Shakti is divine feminine, and manifesting in all the worlds, manifesting all the worlds, and bring into existence the actual universe. So this energy that is the divine feminine energy is the colossal force which supports the biological, the psychic, and effectively the mental process of the human being. She does not manifest itself only through the laws of nature, so not just through the laws of nature, but also through the process of life, giving birth to life, through attitudes, frame of minds, etc., etc. She uses everything, even movement, and literally everything. And I think what, you know, I'm trying to bring forth here is that for so long we've been taught that everything has to be logical, that we go from A to B to C, you know, to get to, or that, you know, you, as you're growing up, you go to school, you go to university, you get a job, then you retire, then etc., etc. We've just been taught that things have to be so logical. And what we're saying here, right here, that in our own natural feminine, divine feminine energy, nothing is not logical. There is no limits. Like everything is just expanding. And if we were to bring this into our lives, what we're going to find is that, you know, there is no limitations to how we can grow or how much we can grow. And that just by embodiment of this characteristics, we're going to find that we expand into different states, not in a very logical way, but in ways that, are mystical to somebody that's looking from the outside point of view, because this is the divine feminine energy. She expands through not just the mind. She expands through not just movement. She expands through, like, the psyche. She expands through the biological states. In every way, she expands through nature, in process of life, through attitude, etc., through movement. So we want to almost bring this into our lives, knowing that there are so many ways we can attain our intentions, our dreams, our goals, if that's what you want to call it, things that we desire, state of being that we want to step into. That there are so many ways that we can do that, because we have the ability to really transfigure ourselves through various ways. We can do it by communing with nature. We can do it by working with the elements. We can do it by movements, dance, sensuality. We can do it by, how we love and how we love ourselves. All this stuff we've never been taught as a route to actually attaining stuff, but this is all possible for us. And this is what I really want to stress on here, that on this journey in the sanctuary, everything that we do, you might feel like actually this is just an exercise, working on the feminine energy, but really those energies that you're working with transforms everything. So it's not just the fact that we have to go and learn something and practice and chase. Those are the only ways to attain this up leveling or growth. There are so many ways that we can do that, because that is what the divine feminine does. Yeah, and this is so powerful and it's so beautiful. So it is often put forward that the woman is a perfect expression of this divine feminine, which means in all these ways that she grows, through the nature, through movement, through the psychic, through the biological, we ourselves can use that in our own personal growth. Oh my God. Do you know what? I absolutely love that. And I hope that really resonates with you. So, the mysterious uterus from which everything emerges and everything dissolves. We have that power. Then the next point that I really want to stress in this esoteric teachings is the feminine in the presence of the masculine, because we talk about both of them working in union. It's both energies are needed in creativity. So I really just want to talk very briefly about, the feminine, when the feminine is in the present, some of the things that you should pay attention to, or just to remind you of 2 or 3 points that I think a lot of people miss. So the masculine, it is said that the masculine without feminine is dead body. It's rigid, it's rigidity. Okay, dead body rigidity. Think about it. So it's almost like the feminine is the energy, the feminine is the movement, the feminine is the force, like we've just said. So when there's just the masculine energy, it's a dead body. It's rigid. It's just there because the energy is not, the energy is not present. And on the other side, the feminine, so the feminine without the masculine is chaos, is confusion, is disorder, it's just chaos, basically. So we almost need both working together, because one without one is like dead body. Another one is like chaos. And we need to remember this when we're working with both energies, because we're going to be working with both the masculine and the feminine energy, so we can like come into balance, and this is when life becomes so much more beautiful. But also like in our external life, as we, you know, women in the presence of like our men, your husband, your lovers, your partners, your children, your colleagues, etc., like, you know, what does it feel like even from their perspective? And you know, it can be argued, or it is said that so the feminine presents to men something that is otherwise inaccessible to them, something that's inaccessible from, she brings something in from her mysterious ways. So to put it in a different way, if a man, yeah, and even if a man is like, he was very focused and he was achieving and really going, you know, forward in life, and he's really achieved a lot, it is only through this feminine energy, yeah, and bringing in this feminine energy that he's able to really filter that achievement into something that becomes really magical. Okay, it is only through this feminine energy that he's able to do that, because with this energy, the man awakens to a new level of spirituality and an opportunity to rediscover and realize things from different angles, which are closer to what this feminine energy brings, which is something that resonates with Mother Nature herself. So therefore, he's able to then integrate, like in his essence, a more purifier way of being and a more magical way of being. Without the feminine, he's not really able to do that. Without the feminine energy, the masculine is not able to do that. So naturally it is said that, you know, a woman's most biggest desire is a passion for her to and her man to get closer to the soul, because this is her natural innermost desire. Because the woman in her divine feminine, she's like this spiritual state, so she has this like aspiration for the man, her man, to get closer, you know, to the soul, and through this she brings the man closer to spirituality. Okay, a journey that can bring a man to discover things beyond something that is so much more bigger than him. So we almost need to remember who we are when we are in our relationships, and the things that we bring into this dynamic in our own natural perfect state, which the man in his masculine cannot naturally expand into. And even if we forget like the man and the woman, and we're just working with the feminine and the masculine energy within us, the same thing applies. Okay, we need this activation of this feminine energy to bring us to the soul, to bring us to a deeper state of meaning. We need that feminine energy. And, you know, if we're just like in our masculine, the same thing. So both ways, if you're just working with energies, it applies. If you're in a relationship, you're working with the male and the female dynamics, again, like both applies. So it is worth knowing that, you know, the man is manifesting, even though he's manifesting, like, you know, in his own world, like we manifest in our masculine. Let's say even in our masculine, if when we're in our masculine, definitely we manifest, and you know, we can achieve. So many of us are operating more in our masculine. And yes, we can achieve things through action, and but it's just a different way of achievement, and the level of meaning doesn't have as much depth. So in our masculine, we go get and we achieve, yes. The feminine, or the woman, she achieves more by the giving and the devotion. The masculine, action; the feminine, giving, devotion through the self, like through the self in her natural state. And this is why I feel like so many people talk about that the feminine energy is leaning back, the masculine energy is moving forward. Do you get it? Because the feminine achieves more through the self, through giving, and through devotion. The man, the masculine, achieves more through action. It's just the way the energies work. But then when we bring both together, whether we're working with both energies within us, or we're working with, like, our partners, our lovers, our husband, by remembering this, we know how these two energies work together. And then we trust ourselves in our natural ability to be able to, like, actually lean back and, like, knowing that we have this ability to manifest in a very, very powerful way all the things that I've mentioned up to this point. So here is a quote from another book, and this was years ago that I wrote this down. So don't forget that I did Tantra for so many years before then I started working with private mentors. So all the things I'm bringing into the sanctuary right now is like things I've learned over the years as a tantric practitioner, as a energy alchemist, and also working more with like very high level feminine energetic stuff. So I'm just bringing all my teachings here, and it's just amazing. So this is a quote I wrote down years ago again, and I wanted to bring in here because it expresses what I'm trying to say. So the woman's consciousness is different. Okay, she has already become aware of things that the man still stumbles in the darkness trying to figure out. The woman, she already knows. Okay, women are able to source, or women are able to sense the subtleties of any situation and react accordingly, when men, due to their conditioning, are less able to do this. So women, you just have this inner intuition, this inner knowing, and the more we trust it, the more we know this, the more we're going to trust this. And I think for me, this point here about like the feminine in the presence of the masculine, it's about helping you just trust more of your own natural abilities, and also what you bring to this dynamic, and how to work with both dynamics in a relationship or within you. But as we go further and further in the sanctuary, we're going to expand more and more into this. So this is like setting the scene for us. So lastly, let's bring in the qualities. Okay, so we bring together the qualities that we're working with on here. So in this journey to becoming like this divine, not becoming, like activating a different level of this divine feminine energy, the woman, splendid qualities will be awakened. So you are going to awaken, these amazing qualities, and this ability to freely express on all levels. Now, this is a really important one, and this is like also an invitation for you going down, walking down this path and journeying together in the sanctuary, like this invitation. And then when I say you're going to go out of, like, invitation to go out of your comfort zone, I think this is one of the things that I meant, like our ability to start to fully express ourselves on all levels. The feminine energy is an energy that moves. It's movement. It moves. Like, think about water, like, a stream, and the way the water moves, even the there are pebbles and the stones, it still moves through them. Think about the ocean, yeah, and the crashing waves. Like the feminine energy moves, and if we are going to activate this perfect embodiment of this divine feminine, one of the things that we need to consciously try and be doing is this expression on all levels. We want to like bring in this expression of like, this flow, because the more we do that, the more you're going to see a heightened state of vitality, something that a lot of people in this like I don't know, this modern day are missing right now, this essence of vitality. Like if you go to London and you sit in a tube and you just look at people, they look like they're not happy, and like they've lost the lives inside them, like the energy is not moving. So, and if you see a woman that's full of vitality, she doesn't even have to move. You literally just, you feel that energy. So we want to reactivate this next level of vitality within us, where vitality is like full of life, okay? And we do that by this expression on all levels, yeah? Even within and also us outside of our body, at the levels of our soul, intelligence, the compassion, the power to love. The power to love is another thing, especially, as I work with more women, and I hear sometimes like this, I think people almost hold back their love because they are fearful people might not show them back, or they might get hurt, or etc., etc. So people hold on, like people are afraid to love at the moment. I don't like, and it's just weird. What we learn here in the sanctuary is our ability to love freely, like this power to love, to give it freely, because you're going to activate a state of being and grounding where you can hold your own love. It doesn't matter if you love somebody and they don't love you back. You are responsible for how you feel. You're going to feel strong enough to be able to do that. So you're going to be able to like love somebody and make them aware that it's on you. I love you, and I'm able to hold that. Whatever you do, it's your thing. But we want to step into this state of being where, free expression on all levels, on how compassionate we are without expecting anything back, on our power to love, on our sensuality, how sensual we are with ourselves and our partners, our humor, ability to laugh, at things and laugh at ourselves, the superior intuition, that powerful wisdom, that powerful inner knowing, our creativity, refinement, self-confidence, spiritual force, all this amazing stuff. We want to be able to really express them, because the more we express them, the more this energy flows, the more we're full of vitality, the more like, you change from within, it becomes external, you change your world. And this is just a powerful way of transfiguration. Oh my God, I'm so excited for you. So awakening these qualities and much more, because we're going to do so much more, you're going to have a chance to become a living expression of this divine feminine. Yeah. This pure, spiritual, powerful woman in your essence. It's just going to be, I feel it for you. I know when I go on this path years ago, it really did change everything for me. It changed everything. How I work, my business, everything, literally. So I'm quite excited to see what this brings into your life. So, Harry said the woman has her own specific way of being. And I think on this path, you're going to start to know that you are going to start to basically activate this gift of being able to read energy, of being able to like know the different nuances of energy. Whether you're just doing it like day-to-day things or actually in a much more spiritual aspect, you are going to start to know what different energies feels like. So again, the more you become this free, you allow your free expressions, yeah, of all those energies that we talk about, and you step into them and you express them, the more you're going to start to know what different energetic state feels like. And this is when the magic starts to happen, because this is when you can make anything happen. This is how I think this is actually the foundation for how I help women manifest the things that they want. When they start to know, like, oh my God, how can I activate this sense of love? How can I activate my heart? How can I, activate love? How can I activate the energy of money? How can I activate blah, blah, blah? You start to know what different energies feels like. And this is when magic starts to happen. But we cannot do it until we start to play and fully express this stuff. So becoming conscious about, this aspect, that we're talking about, like really bring out your vitality. It brings out this high level of like creativity, and you would, like I said, you would start to like really feel every resonance with every energy, and feel this harmonious way of being, harmonious way in your body. And you will start to really manifest things in so much different way, because on this journey of transfiguration, especially here in the sanctuary, you're going to feel more spiritually led, which means that you're going to listen, you're going to hear more of that inner wisdom, that intuition. And as you listen to that and as you play with the energies, you're going to find that you become more harmonized in your physical body, and also in your appearance. You start to change your appearance. And so many times I've seen this happen. Like I've seen women like lose weight, change shape, just by the energies that they are working with. And I'll actually tell you a secret. This is actually my way of like keeping in shape, working with the energies. This is like probably one of my biggest ways. So you are definitely going to start to see these changes in your physical body appearance as you work with this energy, as you radiate this beauty from within. And there is a saying again that there is no ugly woman, only a woman who doesn't know how to be beautiful. And that's because each woman has her own beauty radiating in her own particular style. So naturally, if, a woman, or if you are happy and healthy, within, you're going to radiate that. You're going to radiate that out. And here in the sanctuary, I encourage you and I invite you to allow this psychic and this mysterious nature flourish. Okay. And I also invite you to let go of the mental inhibitions, the inferior complex, the shame and all that stuff. Let's just pack that to the side while we're in the sanctuary, and let's just keep focus on the energies that we want to activate. How amazing is that? So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you, I forgot that slide, but I've already mentioned it. We are going to work with these energies for this month. This is your esoteric challenge, okay? This month, we're going to work on these inner qualities of compassion, power to love, sensuality, sense of humor, superior intuition, creativity, self-confidence, and all spiritual force. Okay. What I'm inviting you to do is you don't have to work with all these energies. You can choose maybe two or three. Three, I would say, minimum, but make it your own. Choose two or three of these energies, and maybe choose the energies that you feel you could heighten up a little bit. The ones that you feel like maybe you're not doing so well at, those are the ones that you should choose. So choose three energies, and over the next few weeks, you're going to find ways to actively heighten, bring up these energies in your day-to-day stuff. So for example, let's say you feel like, oh, I could do with more self-love. So then choose the power to love, and start to do more self-care and self-love practice in the next few weeks. Or it could be sensuality. If you feel like you are disconnected from your body, you're disconnected from your sensual state, your feminine sensuality, I would suggest choose that, and do things like, having long bath. When you come out of the bath or shower, taking your time to moisturize yourself. Even little things like, eating a strawberry, taking your time to eat the strawberries, to really taste every taste bud from that, eating that piece of fruit, just taking your time, going for a walk, taking your time to smell the roses. I mean, we're in the UK. I'm in the UK, so no roses at the moment. It's actually frozen. But maybe, you could take your time to, I don't know, feel the cold. That's a joke. All right. So just find ways to really step into these energies and practice them and make them your own. And then what I would love for you to do is, at the end of your month's challenge, to take a picture of yourself, or ask somebody to take a picture of you, a picture that illustrates or that you feel shows three of these qualities. Yeah. So take a picture and, make it fun, and post that picture in your heart. And yeah, you can say something about that, post it, share it as your end of the month challenge. And if you would like to get super, super bonus and go one level up, take that picture and share it online, and tag IPG Sanctuary, Inner Power Game Sanctuary, and also tag the three qualities that you are showing in that picture. Because what you're doing with that practice is that, so you've been working with these energies, you've been going through this art of transfiguration, and by you sharing that picture, it's almost like you're crystallizing that act. It's like you're putting it out there, crystallizing it, and making it something permanent. Make it the energy behind sharing it. Do it like a celebration for yourself. This picture is not for other people. It's mainly for you to say, I feel this. This is me. Claiming it, owning that state of being, and putting it out there. And even as you do that, it's like you let go of this energy of shame and this energy of inferior, complex stuff. So we're working with two energies there, the one that we're getting rid of and the one that we're expanding into. And through that, so this is like a proper state of transfiguration, expanding into the energies, owning it, claiming it, and crystallizing that state. And we'll be doing more and more of this. And I can tell you, these exercises that you're going to be doing here will feel so simple, or maybe not always, but fun, and things are actually going to start changing in your life. Isn't that what we want? Oh, amazing. So I hope this has been a good esoteric challenge, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with at the end of the month, and seeing your pictures. And if you have any questions with anything that I have mentioned in these teachings, just put the question in your heart, or you can put it underneath this challenge and tag me, and I will respond to each one of them. All right, that's been beautiful, and I shall see you in the temple. Much love. Mwah.